Good morning, students. So, today I am going to discuss the properties of normal distribution. Now, look at here one normal curve I have drawn. So, here the probability curve of normal distribution, generally, the normal distribution it has a normal curve. So, here I have drawn now, you might have observed. Look at the curve there. So, I have taken a normal curve which is bell shaped curve, isn't it? Now I have taken some set of values towards your right and towards your left. Just observe the probability curve of a normal distribution lies between plus or minus 3 sigma limits. Generally, what is the range of normal distribution? Minus infinity to plus infinity. Now, within that, the probability curve of normal distribution lies within plus or minus 3 sigma limits. Now, under the normal curve, the area which I have taken in terms of arrows and the percentages I have written there, you observe that. See, from mu minus sigma to mu plus sigma, the area under the curve having 68% of the area, right? From minus 1 sigma to plus 1 sigma, mu minus sigma to mu plus sigma, that area is covered 68%. Now the second one, mu minus 2 sigma to mu plus 2 sigma, the total area covered under plus or minus 2 sigma is 95%. And the last one, from minus 3 sigma to plus 3 sigma, the total area covered under the normal curve is between minus 2 plus 3 sigma is 99%. Right? So draw this normal curve now in your notebook immediately. So before going to start the properties of normal distribution, this curve will explain you each and everything, because this curve is very important in the normal distribution concept. The probability curve which will be drawn in each and every problem, based on this normal curve only the problems are decided. So we can calculate the normal distribution problems, right? So range is plus or minus 3 sigma. Now what is the range of normal distribution? Minus infinity to plus infinity. But the normal curve, area under the normal curve lies between minus 3 sigma to plus 3 sigma. So 99% is covered between minus to plus 3 sigma limits. That's why we say that normal distribution follows plus or minus 3 sigma limits. Total area under the normal curve is always equals to 1. Nothing but 99.9%, 99%, nothing but 0.999 approximately equals to 1. So the total area under the normal curve is equals to 1. Now after drawing this probability curve of normal distribution, now we shall see one by one the properties of normal distribution. Fine. So let us start the properties of normal distribution. What is the first property? The normal curve is a bell shaped curve. So that is property number 1. The probability curve of normal distribution, the shape of the normal distribution curve is a bell shaped curve. Next, property number 2. Now the second property, the normal curve is symmetrical about the mean. So the normal curve is symmetrical about the mean. That means in bracket beta 1 is equals to 0. Here the curve is symmetrical. That means the mean, median, mode coincide at mu. Remember mu. What is the mean? Mu, parameter of normal distribution. Remember, one of the parameter of normal distribution. Mu is a parameter of normal distribution, remember that. And it is also called as a mean. Now the mean median mode coincide at mu, then the curve is a symmetrical about the mean. This is property number 2. Now property number 3, the normal distribution has only one mode, that is, it is a unimodal. Remember, the normal distribution has only one mode. So normal distribution has only one mode, that is, it is a unimodal. We have only single mode value in normal distribution, so we can say it is a unimodal. And the fourth one, if you look at the curve, first year you might be remembering, you might have been followed skewness and kurtosis. Do you remember that concept, skewness and kurtosis? In the kurtosis, we have bifurcated into 3 different types of curves, normal curves, right? Number 1, leptokurtic, which is more peaked. Number 2, mesokurtic, which is normal. Number 3, platykurtic, which is flatter top. Now among these 3, what kind of shape of curve you could observe here? Is it leptokurtic, or is it mesokurtic, or is it platykurtic? Yes, absolutely, it is a mesokurtic curve, which is a normal. Now mesokurtic curve, the distribution is mesokurtic curve. That means, what is the value of beta 2? Beta 2 value is 3. So the fourth property is the distribution of a normal curve is a mesokurtic. That means the beta 2 value is equals to 3, right? Now few more properties I am going to discuss. Just meanwhile, you just have this curve in your book, and then further more concepts, I mean properties, I am going to discuss. So now I am going to rub this normal curve. So totally 4 properties I have given students. Number 1, the curve which is looking like a bell shaped curve. Number 2, the normal curve is symmetrical about the mean. Here symmetrical in the sense the mean, median, mode coincide at mu. Remember this. So, and what is the value of beta 1 when it is symmetrical? 0. Next, what is the third property? Normal distribution has only one mode. That means it is a unimodal. And the fourth one is the distribution is a mesokurtic, which is in a normal position where the beta 2 value is equals to 3. Remember. And it is completely a symmetrical. Skewness concept also you might be remembering, right? Symmetrical, why beta 1 value is 0. Symmetrical in the sense exactly mean, median, mode coincide at 0. Remember. Okay. So exactly the shape of curve, the central value lies at 0. The normal curve. And we have 2 different types of skewnesses, positively skewed, negatively skewed. Now it is a symmetrical curve. There are 3 types of skewnesses: positive skewness, negative skewness, and symmetrical. Positive means which is more peaked towards the right, towards infinity. Negative means which is towards negative infinity, left. Symmetrical means exactly the center, mean, median, mode coincide at one point, right? That's why this curve we call it as a symmetrical curve about the mean. That's why beta 1 value becomes 0. And kurtosis concept, it is a second type of kurtosis, that is a mesokurtic curve which is in a normal shape. Clear? So let us see few more properties of normal distribution. I hope all these 4 properties I am clear. So here also you can add up one more property, property number 5. The total area under the normal curve 99%, that means 0.99, approximately 1. The total area under the normal curve is equals to 1. Anyhow, later in the continuation I am going to give you the one of the property just now what I said. the total area under the normal curve is 1 unity. So let us rub this normal curve and we shall see few more properties of normal distribution. Next, property number 5. For a normal distribution, the standard deviation is sigma, quartile deviation is 2 by 3 sigma approximately, and mean deviation is 4 by 5 sigma. Sir, what exactly is this 2 by 3, 4 by 5? What is the meaning of Q and D, and what is the meaning of M and D? Standard deviation, quartile deviation, quartiles, you know, right? And mean deviation. In the first year concept, do you remember measures of dispersion? How the observations are being scattered, right? Dispersed. There, quartile deviation we have seen, and then mean deviation we have seen. Mean deviation about mean deviation about median, and mean deviation about mode. And quartile deviation also we have seen by taking the 3 quartiles Q1, Q2, Q3. How much they are equidistant from one quartile to other quartile in a normal curve. The area here I have taken, see, SD standard deviation is sigma, quartile deviation 2 by 3 sigma approximately. In a normal curve, the quartile, the deviation between the quartiles approximately must be a 2 by 3 sigma. Remember this. And mean deviation, that value will be a 4 by 5 sigma. Let us consider these are the formula. Okay, standard deviation is sigma, quartile deviation is 2 by 3 sigma approximately, and mean deviation is 4 by 5 sigma approximately. So in a normal distribution, these are the 3 terms. This is property number 5. Now let us see property number 6. Look at here, property number 6. See, at the left side I have drawn the normal curve. Curve is asymptotic to x-axis. Asymptotic to x-axis, that is, curve, by seeing this curve, what did you observe? The curve where it bends nearly almost it is touching the x-axis line, nearer to x-axis, but it never touches it. But where that curve ends, minus infinity to plus infinity. The curve is asymptotic to x-axis. What does it mean, asymptotic? The curve touches the x-axis only at minus infinity to plus infinity, but never touches it. Sir, what, sir? Curve touches the x-axis only at minus to plus infinity, you said, but down you mentioned that curve approaches nearer to x-axis but never touches it. See, it seems like touching the x-axis line, but it never touches. That is a meaning called asymptotic. Clear? So it looks like touching the x-axis line, but there will be a slight gap between the x-axis line and the curvature, if you observe, right? Here there is a slight gap, and there also there is a slight gap. It looks like touching the x-axis line, but it never touches it. That's why this curve is asymptotic to x-axis. Clear? Only at minus to plus infinity the curvature almost closing to x-axis, but it never touches it. That's why the curve we call it as a asymptotic to x-axis. Clear? Now let us see next property. The curve has points of inflection at mu minus sigma and mu plus sigma. That is, the points where the change in curvature occurs. If you observe the curve, look at here the curve. So curve is drawn like this. So one peak point it went, again it has declining nature. See where the curvature take place? Here, this area. So this point and here the curvature took place and this point, so we call it as a mu minus sigma, and here mu plus sigma, right? Now what does it mean? The curve has points of inflection. Inflection at mu plus sigma and mu minus sigma. What exactly the meaning of inflection? Why the curve has points of inflection? Points of inflection in the sense, the points where the change in curvature occurs. Change in curvature. See, I have taken a broad line there. So till one certain point the curvature coming down, and here it is taking little curve like this. Like this the curvature is taking. So this curvature where the point, we call it as a inflection. So remember, this is property number 7. So this is property number 6. And property number 7, the curve has points of inflection where the curvature take place, right? So exactly it is coming, reaching one point, one saturation point it is reaching, again it is crashing down, again here the curvature is little taken to little bend and gone towards the infinity, and here also the curve till here it has come, and then here the curvature took place towards minus infinity. Now the point, the curve where the point took the curvature, these 2 points we call it as a points of inflection at mu minus sigma and mu plus sigma. So this is property number 7. Clear? So let us see property number 8. So look at here, property number 8. The odd order moments are always 0. For a normal distribution, the odd order moments are always equals to 0. Why? Since the normal curve is symmetrical, and for symmetrical distribution always the odd order moments becomes 0, right? Do you remember in the first year measures of central moments, mu1, mu2, mu3, mu4, right? mu1, so the central moment from its mean is always 0, right? Look at here, the odd order moments are always 0 because the normal distribution or the normal curve is always symmetrical. Symmetrical means what? Mean, median, mode coincide at origin 0, mu equals to 0 or beta 1 equals to 0. Symmetrical means. So that's why odd order moments are always 0. Now what about even order moments? Even order moments, that means mu2, mu4, mu6, mu8, like that. So even order moments, how it will come? Mu 2r equals to 1 into 3 into 5 and so on, 2r minus 1 into sigma power 2r. This is the formula for even order moments. Mu 1, mu 3, mu 5. Odd order moments always 0, and even order moments mu 2, mu 4, mu 6, like that. I mean variance, and 3 into sigma power 4. So like that. Clear? So this is property number 8. Odd order moments are always 0. Hence, since the normal curve is a symmetrical, and in symmetrical distribution always the odd order moments are always 0. That is mu 1, mu 3, mu 5 and so on is always equals to 0. The even order moments are mu 2r equals to 1 into 3 into 5 and so on, 2r minus 1 into sigma power 2r, where r equals to 1 to 3. You keep on substituting r in place of r1. So first 2 1, 2 into 1 mu 2, so that will become 1 into 3 into 5 and so on, sigma square only it will become, because 2 into r, that is 2 ones are 2, 2 minus 1, 1 into sigma power 2, so sigma square. Next, mu 4, substitute 2 in place of r, mu 4 becomes 1 into 3 into 5 and so on. 2 2s are 4, 4 minus 1, 3, 3 sigma power of 2 2s 4, 2 sigma power of 4. Just you go on substituting in place of r, 1 2 3. Next, mu 6 it will become. Mu 6 means 5 into sigma power 6, right? Variance 3 into sigma power 4, 5 into sigma power 6, 7 into sigma power 8. So these are the even order moments. So totally 8 properties I have given you. Few more properties in the next video I am going to continue. Please make sure all these properties clearly you observe and make a note of it. Thoroughly you practice it. Clear? So few more properties we have in normal distribution. So in the next video I am going to finish the properties of normal distribution. Thank you.